welcome to this episode of What the Block. And today we're talking about a pair of blocks, just like last time. And the blocks that we're talking about are listNode right here and getChildren. They both do something very similar. They do it slightly differently. And let's quickly look at why you would use one against the other. First of all, let's look at what they do. They both require a path of a node. So I'm going to fill it in with one of my nodes. Now, since I'm dragging it from the metrics panel, I'm going to hold control so that I get a path instead of a binding. And I'm going to do the same for getChildren. Right, and let's look at the results. So getChildren gets us, well, children. So we get subnodes, path, and some basic metadata that is quite useful when building navigation tree, right? Has children, which is a very useful column, has value, which can tell your symbol whether you need to try to fetch the value or if it's node without a value. And same thing for the history. The other one gives you more generic node metadata. Again, it also gives you children, so name, path, but it gives you base profile type, so stuff you would typically find under node attributes. What's the difference, right? Why would you use one against the other? So getChildren obviously is useful when building trees. However, there's one core difference between these two blocks, and let's look at what the difference is. So I'm looking at both two outputs right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a node to HVAC here. So I'm going to add new node and call it let's call it VV 444. Right, so notice what happened. When I scroll through the output of listNode, there's my new node. When I scroll through the output of getChildren, it's not here. And that's the difference. The listNode block subscribes to the tree, so any changes to the tree will immediately be reflected in the results of listNode block. getChildren is a one-time, basically, function. It fetches the tree as it is when you're supplying a path. It does not subscribe, so it will not bring in changes to the tree. To do that, you'd have to basically force it to reread it by changing the path in some way, right? And there it is, right? So now we see this node. That's the main difference, and also that's what makes listNode a much more commonly used block compared to getChildren, because being able to pick up tree changes immediately is often very critical for most of the features that you are working on or will be working on. At least it is for me. So I find myself using the listNode in 9 out of 10 cases. Right. So that's it. Both blocks are designed to get children of a node. One of them does it automatically by subscribing to the node. So any changes in the tree get reflected in its results right away. The other one is a one-time function that fetches the tree as it was during the time that path was supplied, and will only refetch it on reload or on change of the path. Right. Quick side note: the listNode also gives you other useful things like metadata and actions about the node. So if node has actions, you can choose to resolve actions, and also receive a table of actions that are possible on the node, including parameters required for each of those actions, basically the fields that action expects. So if you're trying to build an interface that allows users to basically run actions on nodes, but without access to design mode, if you're trying to build your own, this is the method to do it, right? This gives you all the data you need to build your own action forms in your interface. That's all I wanted to talk to you in this episode. So enjoy, use it, and now you know more.